Hi, I'm Ishan Manchanda and I'm the founder of GrowthSpree. Today I'm going to talk about how you can use GrowthSpree's Google Ads MCP on your local Claude for free to find out the root cause whenever your performance drops or even spikes. Now, a situation where your leads or your overall performance on Google Ads is starting to drop last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're not seeing leads, it's unusual, you were on a good track, just figuring out what went wrong, what has gone wrong, and what needs to be done next would take you anywhere between 7-14 days. And you would have to look at multiple Excel sheets, multiple dashboards, a Google Ads platform, Google Analytics, HubSpot, and it would take a lot of time and you would lose so much money during that, 2-3 weeks. But with GrowthSpree's Google Ads MCP, all of this root cause analysis happens within 15 minutes and with simple prompting. That is the time we are living in. I would love to show you now how I'm going to use GrowthSpace Google Ads MCP to figure out the root cause of a drop in performance in the last 3 weeks of a particular B2B company on Google Ads and figure out the next steps to be taken in order to revive that performance. And as I mentioned, even scale it further. Let's dive into it. Okay, so in about 10 seconds, it pulls the report, last 3 months performance report from November 18 to Jan 26. That's 10 weeks of performance that it's collated. And then it's also broken down and showing me last 2 weeks, right? And the reason is because I've specifically asked, like, showcase if anything is going off, is there anything concerning? And that's why it's, showing this report in these two phases because the weekly average has gone down considerably when it comes to impression clicks. CTR has gone down, CPCs have increased, spend has increased, it's burning budget. Conversions have dropped considerably. The cost per lead, of course, and the conversion rate, of course, have been impacted as well. And then it gives me a week on week analysis, right? So if you look at the week on week analysis, it has marked where things have gone wrong. Full period at a campaign level, it's showing me the performance. And then last 3 weeks versus prior 10 weeks. And there is a lot of alarming issues here that we need to look at, even with respect to each of the campaigns. Okay, then it gives me the alarming findings, immediate attention required. So the lead volume collapsed. There were 79 leads overall, one lead in the last 3 weeks. There was a consistent 7 to 9 leads per week. Now we have generated only one in the last 21 days. This is disaster. CPCs have doubled. Bidding strategy was specifically changed on 25th January across 3 or 4 campaigns. It's given a detailed description what really happened. The impression share across all the campaigns, non-brand, has also dropped almost half to what it was. The conversion rate have dropped, of course, and the week-on-week deterioration is accelerating, right? So what is the problem? Let's ask the next question. Can you give me a detailed root cause analysis and actionable recommendations to improve my performance again? All right, it took about less than a minute to pull this out. So it's done an investigation 18 November to 17 February 2026. The objective is to identify why leads have dropped from about 8 per week to about zero in the last 3 weeks, which is super alarming. And we've already seen a few of the parameters that have been impacted, a few of the metrics that have been impacted considerably. Let's look at the first root cause. So it's identified that there's been a bidding strategy change, which is the primary cause. highly critical. Impact is 40% of the drop is because of this bidding strategy change. We looked at in the previous just a previous insight that I had given that 3 out of 4 campaigns had a change in their bidding strategy, and we can see exactly for each of the campaigns what was the strategy earlier and what is it been after Jan 25th, which is when the change was made. And of course, if you have your MCP has the Google Ads access, it will also be able to tell you who exactly has made those changes. So you can look at accountability as a scenario as well. And then what really happened? Like, why did this break a lot of things? Someone like me who's probably not been very hands-on with Google Ads in the last 2 years, been more on the management side of things, driving the strategy. When I'm looking at it, I need some more details, and this is you don't even have to ask in certain cases, right? So it's telling me. So what happened is with the maximize conversion algorithm, it entered a learning phase across all 3 campaigns simultaneously. Now, during this learning, Google aggressively tests different option bids, and with no recent conversion volume to anchor to, the algorithm overbid significantly. So it makes absolute sense. It's given me the impact as well, the campaigns, the CPC, and before and after the change. So there's been a 70 to 80% change in the entire CPC, right? And brand CPC has also increased, right? What is the compounding problem? Now, with CPC nearly doubling, the daily budget started exhausting by early afternoon. Campaign then used to run till 8, 9 p.m., going dark by 1, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. They're missing on their majority, their highest converting hours, in fact, which is 3 to 6 p.m., which is based on the previous data again. So again, this is one of the primary causes that we need to look at. Second is impression share collapse. Of course, CPC has gone high, bidding changes made, the entire campaign is going to learning phase, and you start losing out on your competitors. And that is exactly what it's showcasing, what has really gone down. The next root cause is match type expansion and search term degradation. So exact phrase broad week 1 to 10 and week 11 to 13. If you look at the share of clicks and the spends, exact match has gone down, phrase match has gone down a little bit, broad match has almost doubled, more than doubled, in fact, right? And when maximize conversion, again, going back to the same first root cause, it expanded to broad match to find more auction opportunities, but without any conversion data. The algorithm is changing volume, not quality. And these are some of the search terms in the last 3 weeks, which are absolutely irrelevant. And it's giving you some logic also, right? Why it is not irrelevant. So everything is right in front of you. Every answer that you need, every question that you can think of, is right in front of you, right? And these are certain negative keywords. The estimated wasted spend, which is quite decent. If you look at it in the last 3 weeks, 60% has gone into irrelevant terms, 10 of them, about $2,500 lost, right? And then there is another root cause, which is the landing page change. There's been some changes on the landing page, 15% drop. Again, broken it down completely so you know where things went wrong, right? And you don't even have to look at the table and understand. It'll give you the answer yourself, right? So load time increased. Mobile users are abandoning more because it took more than 3 seconds to load. There's a form friction which has completely doubled. The old page had 4 fields and now it has 8 fields. So, of course, can be a very strong reason. The CT has weakened, social proof was removed, and mobile experience broken. So this is another reason. And then, of course, quality score decline is another reason. So there are now 5 factors that you have to look at in order to improve your performance. And it tells you exactly what went wrong and where it all started. So your day zero was when the bidding change happened, right, to maximize conversion. CPC started spiking. New landing page was deployed simultaneously, which had changes done. Conversion rate started dropping, and then eventually this is where we are at zero conversions. We're figuring out what went wrong, and this is the entire chain, right? And then you have the actionable recommendations, which you can validate and pass it on to your team and ensure that they make those changes. It will tell you exactly how to spread those changes, what kind of impact to expect from it, right? So reverting the bidding strategy, reverting the landing page. Negative keywords have to be added immediately. These are the keywords you can copy and just add them. you need to pause all the broad match keywords, and it's also added a timeline to it, right? So first 2 days, highly important task to be done exactly, as soon as you see this, just start making these fixes. Then in the next 2 to 5 days, you set up some scheduling so that the budget does not get exhausted and your ads are showcasing throughout the day, especially in the peak conversion time, which is 3 to 6 p.m. Improve the landing pages, the speed, the CTA, the social proof, which is removed. The form friction has to come back. It feels can't be a good decision to take. And then, some more steps with the entire timeline. And yeah, that is exactly how you figured out in within 10 minutes how your performance went down from 8 to 10 leads in a week, which has been consistent for the last 3 months. You've been very comfortable, very confident about your Google Ads strategy, and suddenly last 3 weeks, you've not got any kind of leads, right? Things have not moved. And this is a panic situation. This is where Google Ads MCP by GrowthSpree comes into picture. Within 10 minutes, you got the entire report, you figured out and identified what is going on, what is that is going wrong, why is it going wrong, and what you need to do in order to fix it in the next coming weeks. That's the beauty of Google Ads MCP by GrowthSpree. If you've not tried it yet, make sure that that is the task that you do after you watch this video. Thank you.